Okay, let's look at some issues we have with char or data types of character type in conjunction with scanf. What issues could happen? Now, let's suppose we have this scenario. Let's suppose we have a menu where we can pick a menu item by its letter. We will do the selection in main, which means we will have to enter a value into the character choice right here after we call this function menu. So let's go ahead and enter this code right here. So we're going to call the menu. We're going to assign whatever we pick up from the keyboard to the variable choice, and then we'll print it out. So let's try this one first. So let's compile and run. And you notice your menu appears. The prompt is right here. That's your scanf. And let's say you enter the letter A. Okay, that's not a problem. You picked A. So at this stage, this is not a problem at all. Now let's suppose you repeat this a couple times. So let's say we repeat it right here. Now let's pay attention to the behavior of what happens when we use scanf. So let's compile and run this again. Okay, so we are right here where we call the menu. So we have a selection in front of us. This scanf is running right here. Okay, so we have a prompt that is blinking right here on the console. We're going to enter the letter B. Now watch, as soon as I hit enter, what happens. As soon as I hit enter, the second time menu is executed, but the important part here, the observation, is that this scanf got executed with something in it. And notice you picked blank and didn't even give us a chance to blink in here for us to enter a value. So something is fundamentally wrong typically with the scanf. Now let's say we do it again, just show you, and see what happens here. So let me compile and run. Okay, so here's our menu. We're on our first scanf, so let's enter C, for example. Now notice what it will do. It will skip this one, this scanf here. So something fundamentally wrong is happening, right? So did we actually enter a single character? The answer is no. That's the point. Is as soon as you hit C, you also hit the enter key, which means the next scanf picked it up. Okay, and that was your return key, which was basically a null character. And notice now the third time we're trying to select, that wasn't a problem because the buffer got emptied out. So here I could pick a letter B, and then it shouldn't be a problem at all. So is there a better way than to collect character than scanf? The answer is yes. So if I were to do this, I would probably choose, just like I did here, the get character. But notice here the get character was not assigned to anything. Okay, so can we assign it to choice? Can I go over here and say something like this, choice equal get ch, right? Let's compile this just to make sure that the syntax is correct. And notice that's not a problem. And let's repeat that a couple times. We can leave the last one as a scanf if you want. And let's see, what's the advantage of get ch? So choice. And we'll see that it will trim the fact that you've entered enter. And that shouldn't be a problem because the last time around, we'll have to prove this, that we should be able to run the last scanf in this stack of statements. So let's compile and run this. Okay, so as you can see here, we're running the first menu, the first one, the first time we're calling it. So let's enter A. Not a problem. Notice now we have menu being called again, and let's enter B. Not a problem. And notice now we have the third time the menu being called. So as long as you use scanf at the end is not a big deal. Okay? So let's say we enter C. And that was not a problem. Okay? So get ch is probably your best option if you're going to do one after the other. So it means you're going to enter a character after a selection and then again and again. And the reason is, again, as you can see, scanf has a problem with characters because what it will do, it will accept the character initially, but it will also keep hold of the fact that you've hit the return key and then insert that the next time it encounters scanf, bypassing any chance for you to enter any characters. And that could have bad consequences in your program at runtime. Okay? Very good. So we're going to look at an alternate solution to this as well. Could we have used a string instead of a character and kept the scanf if you want to keep the scanf? Well, let's try it out. Let's say we have choice now is we're going to have two items in it, okay? And this time, so let me just redo this for a second here. Let me get this, get ch, and let me just kill this part here, and we're going to do a scanf again. So let's say we do this, scanf, and %s this time. And since choice is an array, simply enter choice. Do not put an %. Now let's see how this behaves. Now remember, choice is a string, so we're going to put an S here. Let's see how this works. So compile and run. And let's say we enter A. And no problem, you picked A. So as far as we're concerned, at runtime, it looks like we've entered a character. But what we really entered is a string, right, which is a character plus the enter key, which enters the null character. Okay? All right, so the proof is in the pudding. So let's go ahead and call it again the same way and see if this works the second time we call it. Right? So let's go ahead and do it again. And let's compile and run. Okay, so we are at our first time calling the menu. Let's enter A. And notice no problem whatsoever. Nothing is being bypassed. It's waiting for us to enter the next one. And here's a B. Let's do it again. Okay, so we can see that it's still consistent. So get ch or simply use an array of two characters to solve for this problem. Okay, so A, B, and C. And as you can see here, we've resolved the problem of scanf, okay, bypassing your input. Fantastic. So stay tuned for the next lecture.